Precious medals at stake as we welcome you back to the Lion City. Beautiful Singapore, host of the Asia Cup's 7th edition. For the 3rd straight year, we embark on a journey in this city where we will hand out a gold, silver, and bronze medal. Who will earn them? We're going to find out at the end of business today. A beautiful day. It is perfectly designed for some competitive 3x3 play. We cannot wait to get to it. The field started out with 43 teams. It is now trimmed down to the last 8. The Sweet 16, if you will, with 8 teams in each gender's competition. Again, setting their sights on Asia Cup gold. Nice crowd to get us started, but before we go any further, we realize some of you don't know the rules of 3x3. Check out a younger Kyle Montgomery. He'll do the honors.
Welcome to the world of 3x3, baby. It's an exciting new brand of basketball. You got 2 teams of 3 players on the court, and you got 1 player sitting on the bench here with me. Playing on the half court with 1 rim. With the official 3x3 basketball made especially for the fast-paced outdoor game. The first team with 21 points is your winner, or the team with the most points after 10 minutes. You have just 12 seconds on the shot clock, and the clock is ticking, baby. Anything inside the arc is worth 1 point, while anything outside the arc is worth 2. Woo! That's how I do, baby. And once you score, the ball doesn't stop. Offense turns to defense just like that. It's a 10-minute sprint.
That is how I do, baby. No, that is how we do, baby. The rules of 3x3, half court, 12-second shot clocks. It's a sprint to 21 with 10 minutes on the game clock. And we all get to be spectators of this outstanding final day of this event. I'm Kyle Montgomery, AKA the voice of 3x3. Next to my partner in crime, Angelo Tsagarakis, AKA the Czar. Here we are. Man, it seemed like it was just yesterday when it was day 1, qualifying draw. We were looking at a long schedule. And now here we are. The 5th and final day. It's time to hand out some medals.
5th and final day, the most exciting day. Obviously now, it's do or die to the fullest. You win, you keep believing. You lose, then it's on to the next one.
It's either show up or get shown out. It is single elimination the rest of the way as we enter the quarterfinal phase. All the matchups are set. The defending champs in each gender's competition are alive. The 1 seed is obviously still alive. As you see China getting set to do battle with Mongolia. China, however, are going to be missing a player. Xianyuan Zhang will not be suiting up for them, so Mongolia may have a bit of an advantage in terms of roster size with a substitute that China will not have. Meantime, in the men's competition, you see all of the quarterfinals. That Australia-China matchup should be fun. The Mongolians against the Qataris, they're going to do battle. New Zealand looking strong against a Thailand team that could surprise some, as well as Iran. You saw them up top in their quarterfinal matchup as well. So it's going to be fun. Shout out to Japan. I know your guy Thomas Kennedy. He's going to be putting them up today. He was one of the top scorers coming out of group play. So the stage is set, ladies and gentlemen, from here in Singapore at the OCBC Square, Singapore Sports Hub. Big thank you to 100 Plus. Big thank you to our ball sponsor, Wilson. Big thank you to our apparel sponsor, Peak, as well as Sports Singapore, Eva Air, and our official suppliers as well, Inleo, Baudet, Skelder Sports. Big thank you.
Inleo, what the dealio?
Inleo, what the dealio? We about to get the Skrillio. Who gonna pay the billios?
I'm eating my Cheerios.
Hey, that's just terrible. We just lost 15 viewers just then. We're not off to a good start doing that. Come on, we got to regain the 15 viewers we just lost.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It's probably the only term I have with EOS in English in my vocabulary.
See, we started off with the wrong kind of word. We got to have a more simple rhyming scheme, all right?
Just find something that rhymes in O or A or E, something like this.
You work on that, and I'll work on getting the teams introduced. Deal? All right, here we go. Women's quarterfinal, numero uno. China and Mongolia. China, who come in unbeaten, 2-0, picked up an 11-9 overtime win against Chinese Taipei and a 20-12 win over Singapore. You do see their roster, as I mentioned. They will not be playing with Xianyuan Zhang, I'm assuming due to injury. But that's how the roster looks for Team China, the 1 seed, who are looking to get their first Asia Cup medal, or their second straight Asia Cup medal, taking bronze last year. Took gold the year before. They've been on quite a tear. How far will they extend in 2024? And out they come. Their team's leading scorer, Wen Shiha, with 13 points. Followed by Hong Wang. And their dominant post player, Jianping Zhang, member of last season's bronze medal team. 21-year-old rising Chinese star.
Fortunately, missing your Chinese star in a knockout game is not a good look.
Well, they're going to have to dig very deep to beat a scrappy Mongolian team that's got plenty of fight in them. Trust and believe. They come in 1-1. Some mixed results. They beat up on Malaysia pretty bad. 21-4, the final in that one. And then they lost to the Philippines pretty bad. 8-19, the final in that one. We'll see which side of this Mongolian team that we're going to get. They got Serenkam Muksaikan, Kulan Anobatar, Indra Ulzibat, and Aryan Setsek Bat Erdeen. That is the 4-woman crew for Mongolia. Here they go in their blue jerseys. They look focused and ready. China, they got an uphill climb without having a substitute. Mongolian women have never earned a gold medal at the Asia Cup. They did take a silver back in 2013. And the closest they've gotten was a 4th place finish in 2019. The men's team, of course, with 2 gold medals. So they'd like to have a first for themselves, as our 2 officials will step up in the square. All set to go. Chuan Wing Leong and Rhiannon De La Torre to officiate quarterfinal number 1. All right, give us your thoughts on this matchup.
Well, the thought is pretty simple. It's going to be the power inside from China and their length against the collaborative spirit of Mongolia. We know that Mongolia hasn't put on the shooting clinic the way they would want to and would love to, but they have a shot. Well, it's not going to be an easy matchup, but can China keep up with Mongolia? They're going to be running around, and it's not going to be easy to keep up with Indra. There's going to be trying to attack the gaps, play with speed, and the length and slower feet of the Chinese ladies may have some trouble staying in front.
Well, Mongolia not only taking aim at gold here, China have already qualified to the Olympic Games, by the way, in the women's competition. But Mongolia will get 3 separate opportunities in our upcoming Olympic qualifying tournaments to potentially lock down a spot at the Olympic Games. This will be the first tall task of 2024 for them. We're off and running. Final day of action. Ulzibat with the dribble drive. Aryan Setseg with the scoop deep. Dude, missed it. Got in there and mixed it up. Ulzibat goes down and snags it. Aryan Setseg over to Kulan. Here comes the Olympian, operating from the logo. She'll loft it inside, too far for Aryan Setseg.
Yeah, you need to maximize capitalize those opportunities for easy buckets.
Jay down low to Ha up and in. Again, the leading scorer coming out of group play for them with 13 points. That ball nearly broken up. Long range attempt. No. 1-0 for the moment. High arcing two goes begging. Hong Wang will give it up. Wang gets fouled. Hong Wang coming into the final day of action with 6 points scored through group play. A couple of key stats for this Chinese team. They were 2 of 23 from beyond the 2-point arc. But they got 12 offensive rebounds per game. That was tops in the field out of group play. I guess when you miss a lot of shots, you better get some offensive rebounds. Get that out the bottom of the net. Indra, H2O, Wada.
Right back to the inside game, right back to the lane.
Admitting when I'm jealous. I just admitted it. I love French. It sounds amazing. I just can't do it. 3-2, unless I get a good teacher.
Good teachers are expensive, Kyle.
That's a fact. I need to work harder. Uh-oh, Indra. I wanna rock with you.
Well, you got to give props for the effort defensively to try to contest that shot as much as possible.
Here's Ha. Lost it. Indra. Indra could be a game changer. As Kulan will step back. Kulan with 8 points out of group play. Looking for 2 more. She's got a banking account here in Singapore. 1 point lead for the Mongolians. Ha, not that time. Kulan's got it cleared. Steps back, lets another one fly. That one comes up abbreviated. Arian said, don't worry, I got your back, sis.
You count that as an assist?
We'll call it an assist.
We'll call it an assist.
That kind of looked like a pass. Not really, okay. It is what it is.
It's a bucket.
That's all that matters.
Don't matter how you get it.
5-3. Almost 3 minutes into our first quarterfinal. On medal day in Singapore, Kulan. She's got the green light.
Using the glass again. So the Beck in the account must be real full right now.
Oh yeah, she keeps making deposits. As long as there aren't many withdrawals. Only thing she's drawing is her firearm out here. Kulan with a couple of 2s knocked down. There's one right there for you off the square. And she's got Mongolia looking good here in the early goings against an underwoman China team playing without Xian Yuan Zhang. 4-point lead for Mongolia. Ha! 2 is no good. So China, who have reached the podium in the last 2 editions of the Asia Cup, are having some struggles here through the first 3+ minutes. Trailing by 4. Will they ignite the offense? Jianping Zhang sets the screen. Oh, that Mongolian defense is on lockdown mode. They're suffocating them on the inside, and they got the strength to do it. They also got the finesse to do stuff like that. Nice pick and slip as Aryan Setse gets the bucket. Cross court. Here's Ha. Just too much protein on that. Aryan Setse.
But one key problem for China, Kyle, is that Ha is the main ball handler so far in the start of this game. And you can't have the one supposed to be doing work down low.
Should be Wang controlling that ball, right?
Exactly, should be Wang. Even though Ha is a versatile player.
Well, Ha is clearly gassed. China as a whole, without the substitute, you can physically see they are exhausted.
That takes a toll on you. Plus, the length that she possesses helps her be versatile, but that's not her main strength. She's not supposed to be roaming around the perimeter so much, and it burns so much more energy for you to start from the outside of the line to try to get closer to the cup.
Kulan, just shy. Serenkong, Kulan, driving, missing. Good
hands.
Defense. Look at the activity. Kulan up fake, cross court to Indra. Indra, quick draw. It's a misfire. Serenkong, high arc, missed it right. Still a 6-point game.
Oh, no.
See what had happened was Indra, not that time. Wang. Or Wang. Somebody help me there.
China in trouble, Kyle. China in trouble because they're gassed, as you mentioned, and they haven't been able to dominate in the paint as much as they would want to, as Mongolia imposed the rhythm that just took him out of their game plan.
Well, I think this is one of the most rounded games we've seen from the Mongolians so far. Like I said, their group play results were a mixed bag.
Right.
You know, they beat Malaysia 21-4, but you know that Malaysian team was not on their level. Not a big surprise. Malaysia was struggling scoring against everybody.
You're right.
But then they played against the Philippines and they got their doors blown off, 19-8. So I was trying to put a finger on which Mongolian team I thought we'd see here. And this is the best one we've seen in 3 games. They're consistent offensively. They're getting the ball inside. They're hardly turning it over. They've knocked down a couple of twos.
And defensively, they resist to the impact that Chinese can provide on the inside end.
No hesitation from Kulan. Now, with that said, a 6-point lead is still not safe. It's more than just playing well through the first 5 minutes. The games are usually determined in the final 5 minutes. If you can keep up at the pace that you start with, China, at least to the eye, the signs don't look good because they just look so fatigued. Making fatigue plays, mistakes, I should say. A lot of turnovers for China. .425 left in the clock as Indra will check out. Kulan will come in.
You also gotta give props to Moon Sai-kan, looking dangerous with the mask on since the beginning of the tournament.
Ooh, nice runner.
Kulan willing her team into the semis so far.
Oh, Wang, that looked like it was online, but obviously it was not. Serenkong going left, bullet pass. Oh, said blew the crib, but now she's down. Oh, Jianping Zhang gave up an opportunity. They had a defender on the floor there and kicked it out. Am I right?
She's probably thinking that she had preferential position for the rebound, and a wide open 2, trailing by 7, could be an opportunity to close up the gap a little bit faster.
Well, you can see China, hands on their knees, trying to get any bit of wind that they possibly can in this sweltering heat, number one.
Right.
It is hot today for certain, but also no substitute makes such a huge impact on your ability to get players breathers when necessary. That is such a tall task to overcome, given the conditions, and that's what they're trying to face right now, as well as a 6-point deficit. I think it's still at 6. No, actually it's 7.
It's 7.
A 7-point deficit.
I'll tell you, I'm liquefied on the side, so I can't even imagine how the ladies right now.
You know, some of us started work earlier than others today, so I'm well aware about the heat.
Some of us are rock stars. What can I say?
I'm glad that you took your own horn.
Oh, you're talking about me.
Oh man, I would never do something like that. Kulan driving.
I was just trying to say that someone that I know is a rock star. But maybe you didn't catch that.
I was going to say, maybe he just introduced me at some point. 11-3. I like meeting rock stars.
There you go, Kulan.
Make that 12-3.
I thought you didn't need introduction, though.
That may or may not be true.
There you go, Ha. Finally, China finding a way to get that ball close to the basket. They've had the height advantage since the beginning of the game. First possession translated to that perspective exactly. They managed to get the lob pass going. They had the first quick bucket. Problem is, they waited almost 7 and some minutes to reproduce the same idea.
They got the joystick in their hands. They are controlling this game. Wet ball, Indra, 14-4. The Mongolians are all over China with 2:34 to play. A spot in the semifinals is just on the horizon for Mongolia. 10-point lead. It would be unimaginable to think about them losing this game. I think we can start penciling them in as the first semifinal spot of this competition.
Yeah, most definitely, because the problem is we don't see China with enough gas in the tank to be able to ignite a fire that could provide them the boost necessary in such limited time. 2 minutes, 34 seconds left in this game, and they've had neither the outside shooting ability, neither the game plan so far to give them an advantage close to the basket to at least put pressure on Mongolia.
It has been all Mongolia all the time. 14-4 as we get back to it. 2:30 to play. Jianping Zhang's shot is deflected. Out of bounds. Shot clock violation. So, no, should be blue ball. There we go. Had that ball going out of bounds with time left in the shot clock, then China would have possession, but that was not how that played out. Aryan Setseg, places to go and buckets to get. And a rush to the cup, 15-4, out to Indra. Indra ISO game, crossover, whips it down on the baseline. Aryan Setseg, I like your cut, G.
And you know what I like is that Mongolia has found its groove finally. The ball is moving, they're collaborating, everybody's participating.
This looks like a different Mongolian team. Oh, that's just ridiculous. That was a no-look hook.
The no-look hook.
That was a no-look hook. 17-5 off the iron. Ha with the rebound. Ha with the, oh, she missed the shorty. She will get it back and score. An 11-point game. Indra pulls a trigger, fires a blank. Wayne High arc, no. So last year's Asia Cup, Mongolia was able to finish 6th. This year, they're trying to take it one step further. In fact, back-to-back Asia Cups where they finished 6th.
And Kyle, let's remind everybody, they're going to be matched up with the winner of the Australia quarterfinal, which is not going to be a gift in itself. But once you qualify to the semis, regardless of the result in this game, you have 2 chances for a medal. That's what you're playing for, getting to that position where each game gives you a double chance to get to walk away with something around your neck.
If you lose in the semifinal, you will at least be playing for a bronze medal. The key is getting there. And Mongolia they're going to be there. This is a 17-6 game. It's either going to end in 1 minute and 20 seconds or before then. Here comes Wang, stop and go. Wang is fouled. Wang, too strong, back iron. Serenkong, down low. Aryan Setsek makes the move.
Aryan Setsek came alive in this quarterfinal, Kyle. We didn't see much of her in pool play.
What an impressive game for Mongolia.
And never forget, you may play against a wounded beast, but at the end of the day, a wounded beast is just as dangerous as any opponent, if not more. Because China, even though they're ambitious, having lost one of their key components, made it a kind of an uneven game for them. You see them gassed, and Mongolia had the advantage. So props to Mongolia for capitalizing on that advantage, using their speed and collaborating, making it so hard for China to keep up.
Yeah, to your point, I thought we would see one of 2 China teams. We'd either see a China team that was a wounded animal that was going to fight its way out of adversity, come out hard, scrappy.
Right.
I thought we would see either that Chinese team or a Chinese team that we actually have seen instead, which is fatigued, finding it hard to keep up with Mongolia without the ability to sub. So we saw the latter of those 2 sides. Indra Cash Money taking over for the 9-9 in 2000.
That shot was looking pretty, Kyle. Flick of the wrist.
Game. Mongolia run away with this first quarterfinal as they absolutely handed to China 20-7. A shocking result from Mongolia, even though China played with 3 players. A 13-point victory for Mongolia. We will see them in the semifinals. Find out next who exactly they will be playing. It'll be Australia and Thailand on deck. The winner of that game will lace them up against Mongolia. But what a way for the Mongolians to start this final day of action, as Angelo is standing by with Kulan after that big quarterfinal win. Czar, take it away.
Kulan, I'm sweating. It is hot. I know you must feel. How do you feel?
I feel really hot. I'm sweating. I'm trying to catch my breath, but we get the win, so we are really happy.
So winning this game, you're potentially going to match up with Australia in the semifinals. Now you have 2 chances for a medal. How do you guys feel before coming into the semi bracket?
Oh, we really feel good about our chances because, 2 chances are better than 1. 1 chance is better than nothing. So just happy that we get the dub here, especially against a really strong Chinese team. you know, Chinese are really powerhouse, so we're just really happy, and then we'll focus on the next match.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
It is Mongolia nailing their ticket first to the semifinals. A commanding win over China, who will not medal at this event for 3 consecutive years. They'll have to regroup and get ready for the Asia Cup 2024. More recently, though, the Olympic Games here coming up in July in Paris. So congratulations to them on the well-played tournament, but they ran into a hot Mongolian team and they were undermanned. They had to deal with Kulan and Obatar and her crew. Mongolia victorious. Up next, Australia, Thailand. Stick around. That game coming your way in mere minutes. All right, the last 8 continues. Quarterfinal action from Singapore 2024. We just saw Mongolia woman handle Team China to start things off. Now Australia, who has been pretty much perfect. The Kangaroos, they'll face off with Thailand here in a matchup of some of the best scorers in the tournament to this point. So this one should be exciting. As both teams get ready to get introduced. Kyle Montgomery, Angelo Sakarakis here alongside, and here come Gang Gang. The Kangaroos from down under. They're trying to finish on top again. Your defending gold medal champions. They cruised through pool play with an undefeated record. Outstanding balance. When it comes to the numbers, there's Marina Whittle, their top bucket getter. I'm thinking about calling her the Black Widow. The Black Widow, she is just dangerous. Joined by Alex Wilson, Annalie Maley, and Lauren Mansfield. But each one of these players with double figures scoring efforts coming out of group play. And you can see why they are as dangerous as they are. Pick your poison. Pick your poison. They got it for you. Meantime, their opponents, Team Thailand, who come in with a 16-14 win over Iran, close game. And they also played in another close one against Japan, a 2-point overtime loss to the Japanese, so a 1-1 record. But they got the top scorer in both genders competitions in Rattiakorn Udomsuk. So Udomsuk put on a show like halftime yesterday. I like the pose to start. Her 23 points tops any man, tops any woman of the competition so far. 56% from one, and hit 4 of 7 2-point attempts. She is someone that the Aussies are going to have to focus on and try to keep her from getting out of control.
Well, she's the only one that can somehow provide them with an offensive spark. The problem for Thailand, can they stay in the game long enough to potentially make this Australia squad doubt a little bit? or can they speed the pace up? I believe Australia is going to start up serious, focused defensively. But now, you know, like I know, that in this game of 3x3, even though you tell yourself not to get complacent, sometimes you can just kind of relax. And you may pay the price for it. Still feel that Australia has quite the cushion, quite the leeway. And it's not going to be a tough game, but the best way to prepare for your semifinal against Mongolia is to try to make it as quick of a win as possible to save up your energy, knowing that the medal round is all out.
So you're already counting Thailand out.
I'm just acknowledging the dominance and quality of this Australia squad.
Hard to argue with that. They were #1 in shooting efficiency. They were #1 in key assists, #1 in 1-point percentage. They had the least turnovers. They're not going to turn that over. That leads to a bucket. 65% from one. The only negative, I would say, for the Aussies was they shot 4 of 24 from 2-point range.
Yeah. And
that was it. That was the only flaw. I'm kind of nitpicking them, but that was it.
You should, because the Black Widow did not have the best efficiency that we've known her to have in the first game, the first day of competition.
Yeah, 11 points in 2 games from Marina Whittle. She's actually on the bench right now. Alex Wilson, she can do her thing too. She had 9. She puts the round thing in the round thing. She's pretty good at that. As the Aussies, gang, lead this thing 3-zip. So the gold standard has been set by the Australians, winning their first Asia Cup back in 2017. I remember because I was there.
Where haven't you been? That's the question.
And then they won it in 2019. Where is she going? Send her a map. Send her some help, please.
Was there a little bit of a push?
I need to see it again. But that step back from Alex, can I see the replay on that, please? Alex Wilson is going to send her on an incredible journey. It was like somebody shot the starting gun in a race and she was stumbling out of the box. Oh, man. Okay. I'm sorry about that. That was Mansfield over to Wilson. Wilson from the Inleo logo. What a save from Whittle. To the wrong jerseys, though. The Hezi move as Udom Suk was hooping yesterday. Now she's got Alex Wilson. She brought some tricks and some treats. So Alex Wilson couldn't lock her up that time. She said, don't sleep on me. Oh, Wilson, she got some moves herself. Didn't like the foul. Let's not forget that they are gang members. The Gangaroos with a little bit of attitude. Alex Wilson's gonna step aside and cool off a little bit as Annalie Maley is gonna get it to the Widow, and the Black Widow gets an easy score. Chrome will miss that. Loose ball goes to Annalie Maley, the former WNBAer. Maley, in a rush to the cup, she forces it up and cleans up her own mess. It is 7-1 in a blink. Mansfield locking up. Whittle with the thievery. Kicks it out, gets it back. That's easy. Wait a second. She didn't forget the tip, though.
Padding stats right now.
That's all that was. That was like a Russell Westbrook triple-double move. I love Russ Westbrook, by the way. It is 8-1 in the first 2.5 minutes, and I remember at the beginning of this broadcast saying that, you know, Australia was probably going to just dominate this. And you, what'd you say? You're going to just count Thailand out like that? Whittle, no. Mansfield navigating, trying to find an open space. Check out the hook. Hand up, so what? 9-3. Annalie Maley, 2-piece. It's 11-3. That all rhymed. I didn't try to make it rhyme. It just did.
It's just natural.
That's the cohesiveness that we have right now. Udom Suk.
Thailand needs to fire up and make the game crazy.
Udom Suk wraps it around. Maley gets it out to Whittle. Whittle won't continue the play because a foul is called underneath. That's the third on Thailand. Udamsuk was doing battle with Annalie Maley. So timeout on the floor. And this one starts as we probably would have expected, with Australia being as dominant as they have been throughout the pool play. It's a different day, same story. Kangaroos. Back to it we go. A-Dub. Wilson to the curb. Count that. She's to Leto. Alex Wilson showing that strength, showing that grit. Again, joining this team last year and helping them earn a gold medal. She's back and she's on the attack.
And that's another one, another pair of Kobe's. Different color. That's the third pair.
She's just showing out now.
Oh, yeah. Does she have another 2 pairs?
She's just showing out now. Her shoe game is crazy. Sorry about that. I had to get a sip of water. I didn't realize my microphone was that close. I'm sorry about people at home. Angelo made me do it.
Security.
9-point game. Whittle, no. Annalise got her back. That's for sure. Good defense. Makes the shot from long range tough. Annalie Maley down to Whittle. Whittle out to Wilson. Wilson, the stroke was broke that time. Tracks it down, jab step, drive left. Wilson, oh, she is a problem. An absolute problem.
Doing it always. Right side, left side. Outside shooting from a distance. Cutting to the cup.
Oh, count it up. Count it up. She has scored the least points out of the 4, with 9 coming out of pool play. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the team's leading scorer after this quarterfinal, as Australia are on top 15-3, and Alex Wilson has the Wilson again. Oh, Whittle is struggling a bit as she's missed some gimmies that we don't normally see. She's the MVP of last year's competition in one of the most individually dominant performances ever, really, at the Asia Cup. Seriously, you know, talking about over 10 points per game average in earning that MVP and that gold. But when you have the balance that Australia has, she doesn't have to score a bunch of buckets. You can see they're interchangeable. Wilson skied for the rebound. It's the Wilson show right now. Now it's Mansfield. She's like, put the camera on me. Oh, offensive foul.
Yeah. It was a throw of the right arm. Can't push off that way.
High arcing to Udamsuk.
She's so good. She's so good, so complete.
And she got more range than your cell phone service. 15-5. Annalie Maley will miss it. Udamsuk, that spells trouble normally, but she misfires there.
Maley and Whittle are missing a whole lot of freebies close to the cup.
Udamsuk. Beautiful spin move. She is representing for Thailand. She's exactly the player that we said that Australia would have to find a way to slow down. They've done a pretty good job, obviously. It's the reinforcements that haven't really reinforced for Thailand, and that's why they trail this thing 15-5. Otherwise, it'd be probably a more competitive game.
But props to Udamsuk for elevating to the challenge, showing out against a much better opponent that she's faced so far in this competition. Maybe the best opponent that you could face in the Asia Cup.
That's true.
Yes.
Oh
no.
Oh no. See what had happened? What had happened was the sun got in my left eye.
And then my shoelace kind of hit like my tibia bone and kind of like triggered me to feel like I was stung by a bee or something.
And my sock got tied in a knot, you know. You can't miss those.
Then my eyelash kind of.
10-point game. Australia, listen, they can afford a couple of blunders. That was one.
Well, they've had about 3.
Point.
They've had about 3 so far.
Well, you can afford 3. You got a 10-point lead. Wilson.
One that is not blundering anything.
Gang is on a scoring spree.
Wilson, spectacular in this game. Just extremely efficient and aggressive.
She's the gang leader. She's the one jumping everybody in. Here's Wilson down low. Oh, Wilson gets called, Whittle, rather, gets called for the offensive foul. Australia with 5 fouls. Thailand with 6. 4 minutes to go in this one, and Australia are quickly closing in on a victory here in the quarterfinals that will set them up with a date with Mongolia. That one thrown away. And they give it right back.
She got it like the cry for help. The ball, she's looking at the ball kind of bouncing away from her. That's funny, I'm sorry.
No,
I can't reproduce that kind of.
But I like the fact that she was a little bit frustrated, and they got a 12-point lead. Normally you just laugh that off and say, it's okay, let's just. But that speaks to the competitiveness of number 1, Alex Wilson, and this Australian team. They want to do things perfectly all the time.
They want to get the job done in the best way possible.
Defense here from Mansfield. You know she'll lock in. Udom-Suk, though, she's a gifted offensive player. Gets some space and gave her a taste. Straight leather to the grill. 17-8 as Whittle will assert herself offensively and make it an 18-8 game. So it was good defense that last possession by Mansfield, but it shows you that Udom-Suk, she ain't nothing to play with. She's like a sprained ankle. Whittle turns the sprinklers on from deep. Wet ball to make a game point, and this one is done. The Aussies put them on the Barbie, grilled them up. They had Thailand on the ropes from the very beginning, and this one a runaway again. Each win for the Aussies a blowout. In Singapore 2024. 21-8 as Thailand's run is now done. It is Australia moving on to meet Mongolia in the semifinals. It is Lauren Mansfield who's heading over to speak with the Tsar after a quick victory from Gang Gang. All right, let's get it over to the Tsar and one of the key Gangaroos, Lauren Mansfield.
All right now. You guys are putting on a show. Everybody's like participating to the team effort in a spectacular way. Wilson came out to play. What can really stop you in this tournament?
I mean, we don't want to get complacent. That's our main goal. We got to come out with the same attitude every game. You know, everyone's great at this tournament. We got to be ready to compete every time. But obviously, I love playing with these girls. A lot of fun to play with, a lot of talent here, so it's really fun to play.
I know that when you're preparing for a quarterfinal, it's not like you're really thinking about your opponent in the semi. You just want to take care of business first. But do you have an idea of what can Mongolia do to give you guys trouble?
Yeah, Mongolia is a great 3x3 country. They play a really good brand of 3x3 basketball. There's a lot of movement, a lot of shooting, a lot of funky plays. So we'll be going to scout them a little bit. And yeah, we've got to be ready on defense.
All right, good luck to you.
So a very respectful Lauren Mansfield. Looking forward to their matchup against Mongolia. Those are the first 2 through to the semifinals. Enjoy the highlights. The fellas will be taking center stage next. We got New Zealand and Thailand in the men's competition. We will be getting to that game in a little over 5 minutes and get you set up for it. But we are rolling right on. The final day of play is underway. Hopefully we get more plays like that. Ooh-wee. Stick around, y'all. The Asia Cup 2024 from Singapore continues in a few minutes.
Oh, 12, okay. 12 and 10.
All right, guys. Eyes to the screen. We got a special message for you guys.
Check out the screen. We are locked in.
Build the excitement. Yeah.
We're building anticipation.
Kids wondering what they're doing. Prizes on the line.
All right. Here we go.
Let's see how many basketball balls you get in 12 seconds. Ready, set, and go.
All right. Since one young, Team Singapore telling us as many basketball words in 12 seconds. All right, boys. Most words walks away the big prize. Who wants to go first?
All right, you want to go first? Most basketball words in 12 seconds? You want to
Oh, you want to go first? Hansel, you okay going first? All right. All right. You got Hansel.
Hansel. All right.
All right, Hansel, you ready? 12 seconds on the clock. As many basketball words as possible. Are you ready? You ready? You locked in. All right. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Everyone's a winner. So we got a
All right, you saw the rosters of the teams getting ready to do battle here in Singapore as we turn it over to the men's side of the competition. This is New Zealand, this is Thailand. New Zealand, the undefeated team out of the two. They come into this quarterfinal game. The Tall Blacks led out first by Nico McCullough. He was in his bag in group play. The new and improved Dominique Kelman-Poto, the Dom. Of course, the Typhoon longtime 3x3 OG. And they're joined by Christopher McIntosh, the leading scorer of the Tall Blacks. Started off slow, but finished ablaze in group play where they beat Malaysia in overtime and then absolutely manhandled Qatar 22-3. Now, here come Thailand. Out of Pool B, the #2 team out of that group. They went 1-1. First, they lost to Mongolia. Then they were able to respond and bounce back with a big win over Sri Lanka, 21-9, to land their spot here in this quarterfinal. They have one of the top scorers in the competition, and he's got a little bit of a new hairdo too, so he loosened up the braid. Are those pigtails? Are those pigtails? Those might be. He's the Tylen Iverson. We don't call him Tyverson. #4 on the scoring charts is Frederick Lee Jones Lish, the smallest dude in a Thailand jersey, but he's got a big impact, and he's wearing #3. He's certainly, I think his favorite player has got to be AI. So he'd be happy to know that I'm giving him the nickname Tyverson.
I tell you what, I love the energy, the positivity that comes out. His body language is fantastic. He's always smiling, never gets worked up about making a mistake or turning the ball over, not hugging the ball. He's almost a little bit too unselfish based on his skill set that we've seen so far.
He's a certified bucket. Here's Ty Wynyard. Here are his Asia Cup 2024 stats. Points per game, he's averaging 5 per. He's got 10 highlights. He's doing his thing. He's got 10 points and 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. A well-rounded performance so far from Typhoon. But I'm telling you, he's the type of player that can literally take over a game single-handed. I think the funny thing when it comes to New Zealand is they haven't even played their best game yet.
No.
You think about that overtime loss to Malaysia. Malaysia could have very well won that game. Meantime, that was a quick look at Chanitip Jakrawan, who contributed 12 points and only missed 1 shot inside the 1-point arc for this Thailand team.
That's what you want from your big man. You want efficiency. You want someone that is gonna get that bucket when you need it down low.
Speaking of efficiency, New Zealand coming to this quarterfinal with 70% from the 1-point range. Second best in 2-point percentage at 30%. They knocked down 9 of those. A lot of that had to do with Chris McIntosh. McIntosh hit 6 twos, 14 points to lead the way for him. He'll start on the bench. Thailand will start with the rock, Tyverson. Tyverson from deep. He will miss it. Dom on the run. Put it up for the big dog. Oh, Wynyard. Oh, finally, it counts, plus the foul. That's kind of how he planned it. He didn't want a score without the foul.
And
so
he wanted to get those rebounds,
He missed
too.
the first 2 on purpose. I know his game.
He's stat padding.
Former Kentucky Wildcat.
Man, I don't think most people realize what it means to be a Kentucky Wildcat, to be even recruited and offered a full ride scholarship by Calipari and company. Like, it tells you the kind of talent worldwide that you'll consider.
Jesu, Mr. Shorty, you're right. He's had a great career. Still having a great career. McCullough, these goes and Wynyard puts one up and in again. New Zealand out to a 3-0 lead. #3, Lish, trying to get in his bag, falling away. That's tough against McCullough.
Great defense by McCullough, staying straight, not dropping the arms.
He's got the size. He's got the right combination of size and strength, and that makes it hard on Lish, who has that quick. He's got the quicks.
And one thing for sure, Thailand that has size and length in the paint don't look dominant physically, even though they got big boy at 100 and some kilos. Looks almost small next to Wynyard and Kelman Poto.
He will miss it. Thailand will not.
Kelman Poto doing it a little bit too much.
That was Nakorn Jasanuk, by the way, who drilled that two-pointer. He's been relatively quiet on this Thailand team in terms of his scoring ability, but he drops that one in. Tyverson with 15 points in group play. He's going to get fouled by McIntosh.
And think about the fact that New Zealand, because of the schedule from each player, only could afford to have about 1 week training camp before the competition. So they're still trying to find their groove, Kyle. They're still trying to figure it out.
Oh, Kelman Poto. He missed it, but Wynyard was able to tip it in.
I like the energy from Kelman Poto early in this game. Offensively, he's trying to bring some flair to it, just like his haircut. Try to go for the alley-oop for his buddy in the paint, Ty Wynyard. Then now putting some flair on that finishing touch on that drive. He's looking like he has some fresh legs right now.
Oh, look at Jacques Wan. This is why he made 10 of 11 attempts from one. A strong scorer on the interiors. Thailand are keeping pace. Could he be the X factor? Jasanuk on H2O mode. He is wet from deep. Oh, Dom got his ball destroyed by Ajesu. Jasanuk will misfire there. But at this stage, single elimination, anything can happen. Thailand playing a good game through 2 minutes here. They lead by one. McCullough trying to stop the bleed. McCullough, though, loses the handle on the Wilson.
One thing I'm noticing right now from New Zealand, they're getting caught up with the excitement of the quarterfinal. They need to slow down a little, start passing the ball around, and collaborate, trying to find a mismatch and an advantage. Even though this one was necessary, they had no time to build an offense. They had to shoot that ball quick. But they need to go to the team game, share the wealth, collaborate with any kind of way. Like, even though we have Lish right now with the danger, no.
Jacques with the finish, but
fast break city.
Oh, that's easy money. That's a 2-point layup from McCullough, wide open, top of the key. 6-6 contest. Jacques wants to give it up to somebody. He'll get it over to Tyverson.
And on the other end, you have Thailand that plays with no worries, plays with no pressure. They shoot that thing, they play with energy, they don't hesitate. And that's the main key for them against New Zealand, because if you get one clean shot, you may not get another one.
Well, 2 men down. Kelman Poto will confiscate the Wilson. Give me that. Swings it over. McIntosh. Hand down, man down.
McIntosh.
Shooters shoot. And that's exactly what he is. McIntosh swings it now. The Dom. Trying to make him an offer that can't refuse. Come on. Wynyard tracks it down. Up off the window. Soft touch from the big man. It's 9-6. New Zealand back in front. Here's Lish. Ajesu. Deep 2. Came up Lord Farquhar. Short. Did you get that? No, you didn't. He didn't get that. Is that his air ball to the right side? Lish showing some frustration. He's going to commit the foul and then check out. In fact, both teams will check out because it's time for a media timeout. But how about Nakorn Jasanuk early on for Thailand, hitting a couple of big twos to give them a spark and keep them in the fight with New Zealand.
Kyle, so far, New Zealand, even though they're up 3, once again, I'm going back to what you mentioned early. They're not showing us yet their best game. I think they're figuring it out as they go. They lack repetition together as a team. They lack cohesiveness, even though they have great chemistry among themselves, you do need practice to kind of remember what one likes to do and how he likes to do it and the timing. You got to figure things out, and it comes with time.
Well, this is the team that won a bronze medal last year, and they have had a lot of time to develop the chemistry and cohesion. It just hasn't always shown. Now they do lead this game 9-6, but I think it's a positive sign for New Zealand to continue to find ways to win, and they haven't put together their best game yet. Maybe they're saving their best for last. Hopefully it's for them. Hopefully it's enough to get them to the semifinals first.
Think about pace, Kyle. Think about also the dynamic that you have to develop. We talked about being a pianist, reviewing your notes every day and sharpening your skills. As a team, you also need that same idea when you work day in and day out. But 1 week of preparation is kind of short. And I'm glad you mentioned the fact that they've had opportunity to build that chemistry before, because that's what's enabling them, even with little practice, to still be very competitive.
Point taken.
But one thing for sure, Lish, Thailand is not going to get away easily. They're going to fight. They're scrappy. We know that. We saw the ladies matched up with Australia, and they gave their best shot at it. The main thing is you need to maximize any opportunity you have to get an open look and knock it down. If you're not efficient from a distance, or if you don't take advantage of mismatches that are not going to be numerous against New Zealand, then you may be in trouble.
5:30 to play in this first men's quarterfinal. They tried the back door, and Jasanouk is arguing that someone on New Zealand touched the ball, but that is not what we saw, and neither what official Simple saw. So that possession will go to the Tall Blacks.
Wynyard, the only professional 3x3 player on the squad as well, the one that with the most experience.
Wynyard's certainly a mainstay for the Tall Blacks. One of the most seasoned 3x3ers with 17 international caps. And of course, member of that bronze medal team a year ago. Dominique Kelman-Poto, a silver medalist as well in 2022. McCullough was on that squad in 2022. McCullough actually was not on the team last year. They've mixed it up some. Jacqueline, too big, too strong. Takes him for a ride, gets the bucket and the score. Thailand can pull within one if he can convert at the free throw line. That is also the 7th foul on New Zealand. So actually 2 free throws coming up here. And he can tie this game if he's able to connect at the stripe. Jacqueline came into this contest with 12 points out of group play. His size alone doesn't exactly neutralize Wynyard, but it makes it tough. It makes Wynyard have to battle.
Right.
And then you look at the size of Ajesu as well. And that makes things tough on Dom Kelman-Poto. It's all about matchups.
It's all about matchups.
As we've talked about ad nauseum throughout this tournament. Meantime, he's got one more. Missed the first, Jacqueline. And he will cash in the second one.
It's funny because he's shooting like almost a meter back from the free throw line. He wants to have like more range to his shooting, maybe. And I think you've noticed that as well. Big guys feel more comfortable the further away they are from the basket when they're shooting.
All 3 in the key.
Something that I want to point out, Kyle, and I want to hear your feedback on that one. I've noticed that all these teams that have physical boys, even girls, the stronger, taller players on their respective squads, they're not going for the screen rescreen. They're settling for I set one screen and I dive, and they're working much harder instead of being a bit more patient, setting the first one. I ain't get something perfect, no problem, coming back for another one, and eventually the defense would break down.
Or being able to just go through your reads. the initial read doesn't always work, but there has to be continuous play. There has to be something that you do next if that pick and slip doesn't work. Do you rescreen? Do you pop to the corner? You know,
I think they're settling for the first option too much, and it's overall, it's more. I haven't really seen one team going for the multiple collabs involving two players back to back or back to back to back.
These more extensive actions are really for the teams that spend a lot of time together, and you have a lot of time to develop them. McIntosh. No. Wynyard. Oh, shifted gears. The big fella like a semi-truck coming through the lane. 10-8. Dom Kelman Poto. He's trying to unleash the dragon. Oh, a lot of bodies flying.
Well, they got the Cisco haircut to unleash it.
Oh, and then Kelman Poto, that's what I'm saying.
He's a little bit too intense, and he needs to put his emotions under control, because the main thing is New Zealand is in foul trouble, getting mighty closer to the double bonus potentially, and that's a trap in which Thailand.
Here's Lish falling away, and Lish is trying to get off the leash. He dogs him that possession. 10-9, Lish getting to it. Gets the steal, loose ball goes to Wynyard. Wynyard, hike, touchdown.
Insane pass.
That was like a center.
And the answer.
Hike it to a quarterback. What a shot, Jasanouk answers back. We got an 11-11 game. Uh-oh, it's getting testy down low. The Dom and Jasanouk getting tangled up. This is a tight game. What a contest here in the quarterfinals. Thailand giving New Zealand their best. And the Tall Blacks sucking for win, getting ready to continue in this battle.
But I'm a little bit frustrated with what I'm seeing from both teams. You got size, you got strength, you got those teammates that can come and provide Leash with opportunities to play off pick and rolls much more. Set one pick for Leash. If he can't score or create off of it, come back and set another one. Work around that. You have talent. And for New Zealand, especially with Kelman Poto and Wynyard, they're settling for just setting one and moving from it. And they need to work much more.
Oh, McIntosh, easy like Sunday morning. It is Sunday morning. 2-point game. Lish draws the foul. It's Sunday afternoon.
Well, it's 12, so it's right in between.
Hey, don't mess up my play on words with logic and reality.
That's what I was saying. I could validate you with your Sunday morning.
It's morning. Where I'm from, it's morning.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah, see, I can rationalize it some way. Lish
needs to knock it down.
He's been a little bit hot and cold in this contest. There's been more questions than the answers. Get it, Tyverson? Never mind.
I do, it's my generation.
At the line, McCullough, tough attempt. Wynyard, no tip. He and Dom are fighting for the Wilson. Wynyard gets it over to Dom. Nico through the paint, steps back, gets some space. Look at the arc on that. Doesn't hit it. Wait a minute, got a whistle. I think is that a foul blue?
It is a foul blue, and it's going to be 2 free throws.
2 free throws. 7th on Thailand. They'll switch the ball out. Got a little too sweaty. Ty Wynyard at the line. Too strong. New Zealand medalists at the previous 2 editions of the Asia Cup. Silver to bronze. They'd like to add a gold, which would be their first ever at the competition. First things first, getting some breathing room against a tough Thailand team. Trying to pull off maybe the upset of the quarterfinals.
Thailand is just...
secret weapon. Jasanouk is nuking New Zealand right now.
Thailand is just balling, man. They're balling.
Jaisa Nuke is balling. He got the sliders turned up. And he has been the key with his ability to shoot beyond that arc. That's at least his third, too. In any case, McIntosh at the line shooting 2 after the foul.
Did you notice how Thailand just went up, played better throughout the tournament, game after game? They're elevating, they're finding their groove, and everybody's participating to the team's effort and providing a huge boost into potentially upsetting New Zealand.
Jaquan, Mouse in the house. Credit McIntosh for sticking with him defensively. So McIntosh shut him down like a laptop. .235 to play and a 1-point lead for New Zealand. Wynyard gives it up. McCullough, no, gets it back. McCullough elevates, nice dish. The big fella will finish.
Sharing is caring, and there's a lot of loving and caring in New Zealand, but
snatch back, Tyverson.
Fortunately, it's only a 1. Couldn't get enough separation to get back behind the 2-point line.
He created plenty of separation, but he just didn't step behind that 2-point arc. Thailand is shit. Man, they are playing an incredible game. That's an incredible pass. Ty Wynyard. Is that in the competition for dime of the tournament?
Top 5. Top 5.
I mean, that's a hike.
Well, I'd say it's this one and Fuzuki, I think that's their name, right?
Oh, yeah, from Team Japan.
From Team Japan.
That one yesterday.
Yeah.
All right.
No-look passes, both of them.
I'm just trying to help our editors sort out the top 5 plays of the tournament, top 5 passes. We got one in this one. I don't know what the time code is on that, fellas, but you can find it. 16-15 as we get back to it.
Well, it was in the first 4 or 5 minutes of this game, so we're helping them.
Yes. Warning, delay of game warning on Thailand. Got to give a clean check. Oh, Dom gets called for the offensive foul. He says, I'm not moving. Simple is not having it. Technical foul as Dominique Kelman-Poto let his temper overflow a little bit. And those type of mistakes in a game like this, you do not want. He's a veteran, and he's hoping that doesn't hurt his team, but that's something you can't do. Got to maintain your composure. Lish with the swish. Here we go. Here's Tyverson. Lish chunks the deuces. It's a miss. We are under 2 minutes to play in a 16-16 game. Wynyard takes the feed, lays it in.
Great basketball IQ.
Lish misses. Ejesu, he can't get it to go. Loose ball to Blue. Jaisa Nuke. Oh, Ejesu can't squeeze it. So Thailand with some opportunities here, and they don't capitalize. McCullough thinking about the 2. He's got Ejesu defending. Mismatch down low for sure. McCullough, 2 is on the way. No, Wynyard tips again and makes it a 2-point game. So New Zealand digging deep to keep Thailand at bay. Wynyard goes down, out to McCullough. McCullough defended by Lish. McCullough waiting for the screen, he uses it. McCullough chunks the deuces. Paya!
Huge bucket to provide potentially enough space to New Zealand to finish what has been a struggle to top
Well-played game, but this game is on the brink of being over. Lish will keep it alive. Lish lets it fly. Tyverson can't connect. The Jesuit will put it up and in, but it's a three-point game. Time is not on Thailand's side with 35 seconds left. Point game for the Tall Blacks. McCullough trying to do the honors. McCullough, short range, no. Wynyard gets it back, easy breezy. At least the final shot was. This game was not. The Tall Blacks had to dig deep, empty the reserves, and it leads to victory for them over Thailand. And we'll see their run here in Singapore in the quarterfinals. It is 21-17, New Zealand. They're going to be moving on to the semifinals. Credit Team Thailand, though. They put up a heck of a fight in that contest, but won't be a medal for them this year. It is New Zealand getting the job done. So Christopher McIntosh will head over courtside to see the Czar and explain what it took for them to get a win so gritty against Thailand. Angelo, take it away, please.
All right, my man. You're telling me right before I start this interview, it's slippery. I know it's wet. The hydration around makes it hard. Tell us about the conditions and how you feel overall playing this game in this tournament.
Yeah, it's hot. New Zealand, we're entering winter, so this is completely different, but we need to get used to it. All the international comps are like this, so it's good to get out there and get experience for sure.
Man, I know that in Maori we say aroha for love, right? And tell us about this soul that you guys have and show, because you need a lot of aroha to get out of a treacherous game against Thailand.
Yeah, I mean, that's our culture. Another word for you is whānau. It means family. I mean, that's what we're all about, so yeah.
All right, good luck in the tournament. You're gonna have a tough draw in the semis. Let's see what you can do.
Appreciate it.
That is correct. The tournament just gets harder and harder each game, each level that you move to. It's going to be Iran and Japan in the next men's quarterfinal. That winner will play New Zealand. But the Tall Blacks probably need a little bit of a rest after that battle with Thailand. It's this Iran-Japan game scheduled for 12:20 local time, so we're about 5 minutes away. But we will get back underway in just a moment. Meantime, enjoy the highlights of a battle that the Tall Blacks emerged from. right, shout out to the Hype Squad. We stand hype around these parts. Another quarterfinal is on the way. Iran and Japan are set up next for a date with New Zealand. Team Iran 4-0 from the qualifying draw through the main draw. They haven't lost a game. Started with a win over Chinese Taipei, ended with a win over Singapore. This team comes in well suited, and they've been kind of dubbed the dark horse of the competition based off of their skill and ability, and obviously the results that have followed. They want a date with New Zealand as bad as anybody. They will have to go against a tough Japanese team that comes in 1-1, but there's Team Iran, Ehsan Delirzahan. He's Iran's Michael Jordan. That's what they tell me. He's got 15 points to lead the way with Majid Rahimian, Matin Aghajanpour. No, that's not it. Aghajanpour, excuse me for that. And Mohammad Rahimi. That is their squad, trying to get their first medal at the Asia Cup since 2013's bronze. As for Japan, again, they are 1-1. They lost to Australia, but everybody lost to Australia in this tournament so far. They bounced back with a 22-12 play-in game win over the Philippines. This team made more twos than any other team in the men's draw, knocking down 10 of 39. They got Thomas Early Kennedy, number 2 on the scoring charts with 17 coming out of group play. So this team is well built to contend in this game, to win this game. I'd say a fairly even matchup, but what do I know? That's what we got the czar for.
Well, the main idea is for Japan to sustain the inside presence of Rahimi, who's been spectacular all tournament long. He's been athletic, aggressive. He has that post-up game with either hand finish. He can turn around and fade away on you. He's going to be active and try to block everything. If you're coming in the paint, look in your rearview mirror, because he's trying to just smash that on the glass. But on the other hand, though, Japan is going to count on Thomas Kennedy, who else, to provide the offensive boost and experience they need to try to come on top in this opposition of styles. I like this matchup. It's going to be a great game. They're both going to come with tremendous energy. We know that. But don't downplay or underestimate the guard play for Iran, because they have a dynamic duo of aggressors. They're going to try to cross you up, shoot it in your face, and take it to the cup with a vengeance.
Yep, speaking of Delirzahan and Rahimian, these are 2 tough guards in this competition. Some things that Iran struggled with coming out of group play was their lack of the ability to shoot from long range consistently. Also got to take care of that ball more. The first possession belongs to Japan, and Thomas Kennedy, the worm, Ochai to Yasuoka, who hit 6 twos in group play. He's going to miss his first attempt here in the quarterfinals. Delirzahan. One zip, Iran.
Thomas Kennedy is such a tough matchup because he's a wing, but he's very physical. He can post up, but he got that rocket launcher.
Just 30 seconds in. Some of the stats that you guys are seeing pop up randomly in the game. If you see P-VAL, that's player value. And that's shooting efficiency, points, plus key assists, drives, dunks, block shots, buzzer beaters, rebounds, minus turnovers. I know that sounds like some type of equation. We're gonna need Goodwill Hunting to figure this out.
Well, I'll tell you what, for those that believe that 3x3 is all about highlights, there's science behind it.
If you see HGL, that's highlights, which includes key assists plus drives, dunks, plus block shots, plus buzzer beaters. We're giving you a 3x3 course right quick, but that's When you see those pop up, that's what that means.
And of course, we'll remind you what they are throughout the process.
Just trying to give you some comprehensive stats that make 3x3 unique, significant. You also hear me mention from time to time double fives or triple fives. Similar to when 5-on-5 you hear something like a double-double or a triple-double, but if you reach 5 or go over 5, you get those. Anyway, Rahimian, straight on 2-ball. That was bro. Iran, the only team to score so far through a minute. The Olympian, Worm, down to Kennedy, out to Ochai. Ochai cannot land it. Kennedy using that link to snag the rebound and get the score. His 18th point of the tournament to this point.
He's been impressive, Kyle, because he's doing it all kinds of different ways, and we always mention it, and we're going to do it again and again and again, but versatility is the term that you're looking for in 3x3, and Thomas Kennedy is the epitome of that.
His Japanese team looking to earn their first medal at the Asia Cup since 2018. So a span of 6 years, they have gone home empty-handed. Iran have had a longer drought, all the way back to 2013 where they earned their bronze. Here comes Yasuoka. Yasuoka moving right. Got a whistle down low, as that was Rahimian trying to hold off the Worm in the post. That is not an easy task. He'll check out. Iran with 3 fouls. TK will dip to the corner. The Worm will hand it off to Yasuoka. Yasuoka. No, bruh. I should mention Yasuoka had 15 points out of group play. He gets the steal. Kennedy.
And Kennedy with a key deflection, always using his hands. He could have had his hands down and given an opportunity for a clean look and a layup to Iran. And I don't know if we keep those stats up, but deflections and steals, Kennedy must be #1 in this competition so far.
Oh, Dalir Zahan all up in his grill. The basket will count, but because Dalir Zahan kicked his leg out, there will be an offensive foul attributed to Iran. That's post bucket, so the 2 will count. But while he was landing, he kicked his foot out. That won't be a 2-piece combo. But yet and still, 2 to the head. 3-1 game. Kennedy, they won't get that shot up because of a shot clock violation.
The ball did not touch the rim, so the clock did not reset.
Off we go again. Dalir Zahan coming around. He's got Rahimi. Rahimi, drop step game, going up against the Worm. Lockdown defense. Kennedy skies for the board. They got it cleared. Saito pulls up mid-range. No.
Ochai doing what he does so good, which is put pressure right away on transition. He's trying to prevent the opponent to get away and clear the zone easily.
He will follow you like a stalker. You'd be wanting to file harassment on Ochai after a game.
He'll stick to you like flies on doo-doo.
I don't think we've ever used the word doo-doo on a broadcast before.
Is that a first?
Yep. You just, we don't do that around here. I had a ghostwriter give me that joke. Outstanding job, Bokan. We don't do that around here. We are just an encyclopedia of dad jokes.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We got dads in the truck giving us more dad jokes. Oh, man. 3-1 contest. As Saito will get things started for the Japanese. Yasuoka waiting for the Kennedy screen. Passes the defense, left him in the rear view. Rahimian runs into trouble. Plenty of traffic, and he gets hacked. Ochai's looking at me like, yeah, is that I think he got hit in the forehead, Worm. I'm sorry. I can't argue with that call. We got two very seasoned officials in Edmund Ho and Eddie Liu. And you can't expect to get away with slapping somebody in the forehead, unless you're Rick James. The 5 fingers say to the face.
Slap!
There you go. There you go. All right, 6:43 to go in a 3-2 advantage. Iran in front thanks to that Dalir Zahan 2-piece. Since then, they have not scored. They're looking to do that here and now. Here we go.
So 14 foul against Japan. It's a very physical game, Kyle. You can only notice the aggressiveness defensively. They are trying to contest every single movement, and it's on both sides. I can't give advantage to either side defensively in the sense of appreciating the passion on both ends and the energy provided by both teams.
Long ball, Yasuoka. He got range like a Rover owner. You like that? I know you liked it.
You're hotter than the weather right now, sir.
4-3. Yasuoka. Uh-oh. If he would have hit that, I would have taken the headset off and walked away from the microphone for a second. He didn't, so
you're safe.
I'm safe.
You're safe.
I'll sit here for a while. Yasuoka having a seat as well. He'll get a rest for Japan as they play on with Kennedy, Saito, and Ochai. Dalir Zahan with a calm drive. And then a foul on Iran, their 6th. So I was talking about Iran, some of the things they struggle with in the pool play phase. They were 4 of 24 from 2-point range, and they had 15 turnovers, worst in the field. They only trail here by 1, but some things that they want to make sure they clean up, especially as we approach the midway point on this game. Rahimi, no. Contest for the ball. That's high impact.
And Iran right now in trouble because they can't slow down Thomas Kennedy down low, and then the aggressiveness defensively, but the over-aggressiveness defensively is getting them now in foul trouble. And the free throws for Japan gives them a great opportunity to build a lead up, even though Yasuoka does not convert the first one.
Yasuoka will get another chance here. Right now, Japan's lead is at 5-3, make that 6-3. But Iran not in an ideal situation defensively with 7 fouls. Japan have 2 to give. Dalir Zahan trying to give him a bucket. He can't do it as Kennedy will kick it out to Ochai. Ochai down to Kennedy. Kennedy on the block. Oh, that is bully ball. He kind of throws up a crazy shot. I think he was off balance. Dalir Zahan is probably delirious after that collision with Kennedy. Looks like he's all right, though. He's good to go. Kennedy will have a seat. Yasuoka will defend Dalir Zahan, top of the key. Here we go. Dalir Zahan swings through. Dalir Zahan chunks the deuces. He was looking at a different rim.
You got to give credit to the Japanese defense, Kyle. They're preventing Iran from finding the balance between inside-outside that they have successfully found since the beginning of the tournament. And Japan, Japan
Rahimia
playing smart, using Kennedy and the sweet shooting from Yasuoka. On the other side, if there's one man that can wake them up, it's Rahimi for sure.
Yasuoka, stroke was broke up. Stays where it's at in the 6-4 game. Tough drive, Rahimia. So 6-5 as we are past the midway point of this men's quarterfinal, 4th game of the day. Women's semifinal, at least one of them is set, as Mongolia will face off with Australia. New Zealand awaiting the winner of this contest right here, right now. Yasuoka sneaks behind the D.
The great pass from Saito. You know, anytime you're playing against Japan, you're gonna have a dogfight. They're gonna be scrappy defensively, and they'll bring that danger from a distance that can just fall upon you at any time. Iran gonna have to get it.
Man, scoring against Ochai in the post is such a hard thing to do. This is what I was making a point about the Japanese team yesterday. You know, while Ochai isn't 209 or 2, you know, he's got enough size to where he's not a liability in the post. Ochai stands 195, but he plays much bigger.
And he has a lifelong experience of 3x3. He understands the little details that help you defensively, what you can get away with, what you're not supposed to do.
Very crafty defensive player, crafty passer too. It's the reason why he survived in this league as long as he has. As Saito will try to add to this Japanese lead with a second free throw attempt. He will not. It'll stay at 3. 8-5 contest. 4 minutes to play. Delir Zahan, ISO game. He's got Kennedy in front of him. Oh, look at those long arms of Kennedy.
I'm telling you, man.
Swipes it away. Delir Zahan. Desperation shot. So Iran look out of sync at the moment as they've managed 5 points to this point. Japan lead it 8-5 with 3:51 to go and a media timeout.
You just hate to play against Kennedy as an opponent because he has those long segments, but he has quick hands. He's so active. He understands the game. He has a feel. He has a knack for it, as you would say in English. And offensively, he has this toughness. You've seen him go to work down low, and I'm telling you, he's a wing. He's a real 3, but he has the strength of a 4 in this body. That's a huge advantage for Japan. As you mentioned, the versatility and the fact that Ochai plays big even though he's 195. It's the same thing with Kennedy.
Kennedy will screen. He's going to get called there. You cannot extend your arms while you set that screen. I mean, that's an easy whistle.
On this, Kennedy did the rescreen I was telling you about, but Yasuoka stayed idle, did not use the screen. He would have been wide open under the hoop.
Yes, but he also clearly pushed on the screen.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But the fact that Yasuoka was staying idle kind of triggered that offensive foul.
Meantime, that was Adhajanpur who knocked down the big 2 there to pull Iran back within 1. Uh-oh. We got a game, ladies and gents. Yasuoka missed dribbles. Delir Zahan hits the deck. It's out of bounds, I believe, off of Japan. It is. So Iran get possession. 3.5 minutes to play. Quarterfinals underway here in Singapore. A narrow miss as the Worm will confiscate the Wilson. Sets the screen, and for Yasuoka, dime delivery. Count that. So precise. They made that pick and roll look so easy, and to your point, it was patient. The way that play developed was patient.
And breaking it down even to a deeper level, if that initial screen did not work, well, don't get worked up. Come back, work it again.
Delir Zahan coming around. Oh, foul red. And you can hear Ochai telling his team no more fouls. It's a little late for that. They are in the penalty, sir. That's 7. So 2 free throws coming up. Probably should have said that with 6 fouls. Anyway.
Rolling.
I don't know this song.
It's a Holla Back, youngin.
Oh, yeah, I do. I thought this was some kind of remix.
It's just the instrumental.
Holla back. Yeah. Hajanpur knocks it down. We're all even. It's a deadlock.
The ball should be given back to Japan.
The officials will discuss.
I agree with Ochai on that one.
9-9.
But it went too fast, so it's a good decision to call it a jump ball. If you don't know, then you don't know. It is what it is.
Fast-paced game. Things happen in a blink. Iran awarded the possession. Both teams in the penalty. Foul-wise, Dalir Zahan comes around the corner. Forces the pass on the inside, and that is kicked. So that's a fresh 12-second shot clock for Iran to work with. This game is coming down to the wire.
If you want to pass it up, if you want to pass it to Rahimi on the dive, you better make sure that it's a lob and not a bounce pass against Japan.
Dalir Zahan, step back, tough shot. He will miss it. Almost hustled it down, couldn't get to it in time. 2:37 officially left in what has been an absolute brawl between Iran and Japan here in this quarterfinal. Neither team giving up any ground.
That's the right term, a brawl.
Kennedy trying to loosen things up. He looses and then misses everything. Rahimian will start the possession here for Iran. Every possession so critical down the stretch. Execution is top priority. Rahimian, the long-range attempt, no good, out of bounds off of Iran.
And you gotta like the hustle from Ochai, boxing out, fighting for position with Rahimi, giving his all. But Iran hasn't found the ability so far to create enough separation and get away from the Japanese tight defense, samurai style.
Samurai style, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Rahimian. Oh, speaking of samurai, he sliced and diced him. Oh, but he gets called for a travel.
Gotta hold that pivot foot tight. Screw it into the floor. Gotta stay stable.
Japan back to work. $2 left in the quarterfinal contest between Japan and Iran.
Great look!
What a dime. Dalir Zahan drops the shoulder.
Saito with the key defensive stop.
10-9, Dalir Zahan's got to get up quickly. Rahimian skies for the rebound.
Saito had two options, himself or Kennedy.
Right now, Dalir Zahan's not moving. You see, he's gassed. But that essentially made it 2-on-3.
What we talked about yesterday, remember, whenever, like, the biggest sign of a team being gassed is when you're just watching your teammate hoping he has enough energy to be the one doing something. Like, come on, baby, because I ain't got him right now.
Right. He's back now, so only a brief rest. And he's got to stick with Yasuoka. Well, Yasuoka does him a favor and throws it away. Minute 24 left, 10-9, Japan. Anybody's game.
Great defense once again.
Dalir Zahan, that's a good look for him. Can't hit it. Rebounded though, stays with Iran, and they will score it on the inside. Hajanpur has played a solid game. Is he whistled after?
Is that the first warning?
Oh, okay, warning. A delay of game warning, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Been under the bucket. Minute 8 left, 10-10. This game is stuffy. As tight as can be, Yasuoka runs into trouble.
Well, don't know whether he was flopping that much.
Oh, we'll take a look.
We'll see right here.
Yasuoka.
Well, on the first contact, this one right here, I'm not sure, but the first one was not the one on drive. Oh, stop it.
Oh, God! Oh, my! What a hit from Yasuoka. Right on time. Dalir Zahan, no. Rahimi with the board. 40 seconds left. That's a... Didn't get it up in time. Shot clock violation. One dribble too much. But look at Yasuoka playing hero for Japan. They needed a huge bucket. You won't find one bigger than that. All net, all wet. Japan in front, under a minute to play. 12-10, 39.4 officially.
Needless to say, Japan needs to manage this possession with intelligence and composure. No need to rush. Use the clock as your best friend right now. You're the one on top. Don't need to give the ball back quick. And be aggressive. Free throws can be the separator.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
What?
That's exactly right, though. Got to be aggressive. Got to be smart, because both teams obviously in the penalty. Every possession here is a premium. It is critical. Yasuoka waiting patiently for the screen. They waste 4 seconds off the shot clock. Ochai will re-screen. Yasuoka all day long, got to look, but does not get it to go down. Those Ochai screens are a luxury to have.
Even though I'd like him to find a better angle. As you're doing him flat, you're giving an opportunity to your opponent to switch from under a bit easier. If you do it, not like a Spain pick, what we call like a flat back pick. That's what you call the Spain pick, because the Spanish national team with Gasol and Navarro and all these guys made it very famous a long time ago, and the name was in honor of him. But just give like a 45-degree angle, and now you're really putting pressure on the defense. What do? Do you go over? Do you go under? And you got to make sure you communicate. Also, if you switch, very tough to go under. And Ochai could actually then dive without even being in trouble.
It's a great point. Something that I didn't know.
Well, what the Serbians mastered so much. These are the little details and mastery in this game.
So we're down to 25 ticks. Japan in front. Iran they cannot afford to waste any possession. That mishandling of the ball by Rahimi there might spell the end of Iran's run here in Singapore, as Japan will take back over. They will utilize as much clock as possible. Yasuoka around, takes it back out.
That's the matchup they want.
To shoot, and they get the matchup they want. All right, rebound goes to Iran. They got 2 to tie. Oh my goodness! Tie game. Japan can win it. Yasuoka floating. No, wait a second.
He had the foot on the line, apparently.
Was his foot on the line?
It could be.
Aghajanpour's, what I thought was a 2, may actually be a 1, and that will secure a win for Japan. I thought it was a 2. Let's get a closer look if we can.
Does he have Kevin Durant toes or not?
Now, wow, we knew that this game was coming down to the wire. And what a show this was. But you can look on the replay. From that angle, it looks like 2 feet behind him. From that angle.
We need to get it from the side.
Aghajanpour.
We need to get it from the side where we're sitting from.
With an absolute clutch bucket right there. And for Iran, they are just hoping that this counts as 2.
And that's a 2.
That is a 2.
And
that is a 2. So we're tied at 12 apiece and going to overtime for the first time here on the final day.
What about that little floater from Yasuoka, just hitting the rim twice and just handing up a tight short?
He had a chance.
Oh, we'll see it right here. That's the perfect angle.
But
look how up there.
Aghajanpour is clutch as an F1 driver. Big shot to keep his team alive. It's anybody's game as we go to overtime.
Is Iran a team of destiny? The game was almost done.
Well, they haven't lost a game yet here in Singapore.
That's the reason. Are they a team of destiny?
Wow. Wow. Incredible game. Yasuoka hits a big two and sees it be responded to by Aghajanpur. Incredible. As we head into overtime, Iran will start with it. Here we go. Dalir Zahan moving right. Aghajanpur for the win! Unbelievable! Aghajanpur with the heart of a lion in the Lion City. Iran is going crazy right now, and they should. You call your boo, he calls game. Y'all different. Aghajanpur with back-to-back twos to save the life of his team and his country in the quarterfinals. Iran remain unbeaten as they will head to the semis to do battle with New Zealand. Stealing it from Japan late. Mama, there go that man. Mama, there go that man. Oh, man. You got to love this game. Matin Aghajanpur with a 2 to tie it at the end of regulation and the 2 to win it off balance in OT. Unreal. Unreal. Wow. So we will enjoy the highlights from that one. An overtime thriller without the red jacket and zippers. Oh, man. Iran got to be riding high with a win like that to send them into the semifinals. They'll look to clean some things up against New Zealand. We'll be looking to do the same thing. Maybe we haven't seen the best performance from each of these teams, but they found ways to win. So again, enjoy the highlights. In OTW, 16-14 for Iran. Coming up next on the schedule, wow, we'll get it back over to the women's competition. Japan and New Zealand are on deck from here at OCBC Square. Do not go far. You'd be crazy to, right? Of course. So here's how the bracket is looking in the women's competition as we'll move to the bottom half of the bracket now with Japan and New Zealand. One semifinal is set, Mongolia and Australia. Now we'll get to the bottom half of this bracket and figure out who else is going to be heading on to the semifinals. It is the voice of 3x3. That is me. It is the czar.
That is him.
That is him. Well, that is you. Don't confuse the people, Angelo. Anyway, we won't get you confused about the rosters. You can see them for yourself. That is New Zealand and their opponent, Team Japan. New Zealand, who come in 1-1. Japan, who come in 2-0 out of these two Asian powers. It'll be Japan who takes the court first. The Japanese, led by Miwa Kurabayashi and Monica Neda, with 21 points combined. They picked up a 1-point win over Iran and then a 2-point win in overtime against Thailand to land a spot here in the quarterfinals. Team Japan looking for their first medal at this event since 2019. New Zealand, silver medalist just a year ago. And here they come. Ella Fotu, Ezra McGoldrick, Lauren Hippolyte, and Sean Papuke Robati. This team, again, at 1-1, they were able to beat India, but then they lost badly to Australia, only averaging 13 points per game, which is very shocking for this Tall Ferns team. No better time to turn it around than now, and some of that had to do with the lack of scoring from some of their stars. Certainly the 10 of 30 from 1-point range did not help. So they'll look to put together a better game against Japan here. And the Japanese women happen to witness what just happened to the Japanese men in overtime. So they'll be carrying the flag for their country all by themselves. Carrying the officiating duties in this one is Shirong Shi and Edmund Ho. Say cheese. Thank you. I didn't know they could hear me.
Well, if they don't hear you now, they'll listen to the broadcast later. Well, that we know.
Uh-oh, I hope not. You might be in trouble. No, I'm playing.
Security.
Security, please. Monica Neda, she's been balling. 12 points for her, leading her team in scoring. Sean Papuke Robate is doing the same. She's got 11 to lead the way for the Tall Ferns. Right behind her is Gabriella Fotu. They just call her Ella at home. Ella Fotu. She's second on the team in scoring with 9 points. So New Zealand, a perennial contender. A silver medal in last year's edition. Also a gold medal in 2018. They're one of just a few countries that have been able to earn a gold at the Asia Cup.
So we got Australia, New Zealand. I remember you mentioning Mongolia, am I right?
Well, no, Mongolia hasn't won gold for the women.
For the women,
India.
India, back in 2013, if I remember what you said.
Yep.
Is there anybody else?
I'd have to think back. No, for the women, India, New Zealand. Oh, China. China won in 2022.
Yeah, China.
And the rest of them belong to the Aussies.
Bayashi with the first bucket of the game, and
Hippolyte ricochets off the front iron. So for New Zealand, a name that we haven't called very much is Ezra McGoldrick, and she's a certified star, usually a top player in the field. She came out of group play with just 1 point, 1 of 7 shooting, and I think that contributes to their 13 points per game average. Meantime, as Chiba contributing to her team in the right way, off the window. McGoldrick with great footwork. Up top, Hippolyte turns the corner. Hippolyte with a creative shot attempt. It goes begging.
Got it off in time.
Faruqi, who got the dime delivery of the tournament so far. Chiba on the run like the Jay-Z and Beyonce tour. Remember that one?
I do.
3-zip. Ella down to McGoldrick. That should be easy money. There's her second point of the Asia Cup 2024. Got a foul, Black. New Zealand's first, Japan lead by 2. New Zealand 6 of 25 from 2-point range in group play. And again, I mentioned that 30% inside the 2-point arc, 1 of 30. Japan not so great with their 2-point percentage, but not bad either. 6 of 20 in group play. That's 30%. For an outdoors game, 30% ain't too shabby.
Oh man, it's more more than decent. Knowing that you get more shots in the shorter span, and that you're also playing outside when sometimes it could be windy.
Yeah, but you're right, it's more than decent. Actually, they're 30% from two-point range. Japan is #1 in the women's competition. Faruqi, cross-court pass, give me the Wilson back. She runs into Sharn. Thing to be doing this done, seeing where it from. All right, 4-1. I worry about you sometimes with these little glitches you have. You start singing songs and they're just weird.
The little glitches I have. All right.
I don't know, and then you want to project it on me. Kurabayashi, count it, and the foul. It's a good old-fashioned two-point play opportunity. Scoring through the contact, Kurabayashi.
Never forget one very important fact, sir.
What's that?
That no one is not gonna confuse my voice and your voice, because you're the voice.
I think we kind of sound alike, actually, especially when you make your predictions. I don't know. You know, I don't know if they can tell us apart. That's fine with me, because I'm always gonna tell the truth in the end. So,
because you can't be wrong at that point.
Of course.
You're like the chameleon.
So when I say I said something, they run it back. It's like, oh yeah, that sounds like Kyle. It's excellent for me.
So you're looking for that plug, aren't you now?
Hey,
so you better ask nicely.
Don't make that public information. 6'2". Yes, I am looking for the plug. Thank you.
You're welcome.
McGoldrick, she wants goal. She turns around on the baseline, splashes it.
Well, she heard you.
And she's off to a good start. I was curious to see how she would play today. I know her ability.
She heard you, and she wants to make sure she reminds all of us
that she's the real deal.
Exactly.
Quarterfinal action underway from the Singapore Sports Hub at OCBC Square. Kyle Montgomery, Angelo Sakarakis here with you as we are moving through the final day of the 7th edition of the Asia Cup. 3rd straight year we've been here in Singapore. We always get a memorable tournament, especially on the final day. Hippolyte turns around, Robati will snag it, and she will draw the foul that will put her on the line.
Shiba has been playing with such a spark. Very generous. Playing so fast, knocking down important shots. She heard me talk about her, and she wants to make me look good. I appreciate you.
That was nice. 2 is drained from deep. Japan had plenty of weaponry. 4-2 comes in. Ella misses the 2-stroke. Japan's guard play could be disruptive here. And the quickness of Kaneda, you can see, lost. She was so quick, she left the ball behind. Chiba. Bati. 4-2. McGoldrick fading away, misses it, uses those long arms to try to get the rebound. She gets whistled for the foul instead. As Esra will substitute out Hippolyte. Looks like she will check in. Well, we'll see what they decide as both teams will step aside. Speaking of stepping aside, look at that move right there. Ezra McGoldrick getting active here early for New Zealand. Exactly what the Tall Ferns needed after coming out of group play with a pedestrian performance.
Kyle, there's one issue that I have with both teams so far. They haven't been able to utilize any kind of mismatch situation besides the few buckets that we saw from McGoldrick. They have the ability, both teams, with Kuribayashi and McGoldrick, to put much more pressure on the defense with that mismatch and inside presence. And right now, I don't know if we got to give the credit to the defense or if whether both teams are kind of staying away from that option. But there you go. You see, there's a mismatch in the paint for like 10 hours with Rabati, and unfortunately Hippolyte does not even look that way, and that's kind of like what I'm reproaching both teams at this time of this game, coming close to the halfway point.
Hippolyte being impolite. Got to get it down low when Sean has position. She doesn't have position for the rebound. Kurabayashi does, but she can't make it count. Stays 8-4 for the moment. New Zealand still haven't cleaned up the scoring woes so far. So we are past 4 minutes to play. Look at, oh, Sean lost a handle on it, having all kinds of issues. So they'll swap out size for size. As Pupuke Robati will have a seat. McGoldrick will come in. Kurabayashi will get the possession started for the Japanese. Faruqi. Dish delivered. Oh, I was going to say great recovery defense, but McGoldrick, too much contact on the hand, and that will put Kurabayashi on the line.
New Zealand hasn't been able to construct an offensive game that would put them in a position to put Japan on its heels defensively.
Shout out to Noah Lazarus, my guy.
And there you go.
He's dropped off some snacks for us. There you go. There's a Go Good punch bar. There we are.
Go Good strawberry. Appreciate you.
Excellent. All right, Kaneda to Faruqi. Back to Kaneda. Kurabayashi. Time's running out here. 3 seconds to shoot. Faruqi puts up a miracle. Oh, that's miracle water. Holy shot. 10-6.
And that's a huge bucket, Kyle, because it responds straight up to Hippolyte's dagger. So Japan can keep a cushion.
Oh, Robati. Oh no, that foul is actually a white.
Faruqi holding on to our opponents like hopes.
All right. I see you, Czar. I see you. All right. Here's Sean. Gets it back over to Ella. LMA takes him on a trip. 4-2, 4-1. 3-point game. Up top, Kaneda, high arc. No tasting of the rainbow that time as Sean will get it to Ella. Ella swings it. Robati, no. McGoldrick hustles down the rebound. Robati can't receive the package, it's disrupted. Chiba was standing in the lane. 4:35 to play. Been a game that Japan has controlled, not dominated, but controlled. The New Zealand men have secured a spot in the semifinals. And the women trying to join it as well. Tall Blacks are in. Will the Tall Ferns join them? Right now, they're looking at a 3-point deficit. Faruqi trying to use that quickness. Gives it up. Late in the shot clock here, Chiba had plenty of time to get to the rim. But the layup is a no-go, 4-2.
Screen.
Oh, yeah, offensive foul. That's 7 on New Zealand. No free throws, but they are officially in the penalty with the 7th foul. That certainly doesn't help their cause to climb back in this game. Separated by 3 points at the moment. Whoa. Slick spot over there on the court.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because the timing of the slip is exactly the moment where the ball was in reach.
Robati hands it off. Hippolyte, soft touch.
Obviously a very smart play, trying to provide Hippolyte with the middle to attack with her strong hand.
Fadeaway is no good, McGoldrick. Hippolyte. Gets it down to Sharn. Puke, Robati, she clears space, gets it back and gets the score.
Could almost give an assist to Mongolia right there, tipping her the ball.
Faruqi trying to orchestrate some offensive action, and the action will come to a pause for now. It's time for a media timeout in a one-point game. So New Zealand in a good spot, even though they're trailing. As we look back at the two-piece off the window from Hippolyte, she could be a big difference maker for the Tall Ferns down the stretch here. Here's the look at how the last scores for each team have developed. Kind of slow going for each of these teams.
We haven't had any offensive orgies so far. Most teams struggling to find their rhythm, and I think maybe the defense also picked up to a level of intensity where the understanding of the knockout round makes it
special.
So difficult.
What touch from Robati. He gets a hand on this one. Sets the screen. Hippolyte with a spin screen.
Oh,
stop and go, no.
But how about New Zealand? Up one.
Kaneda misses the layup that would have tied it, but you're right. New Zealand has taken charge in this game. The Tall Ferns, Sharn. She will miss it, gets it back, up and in it goes for Puke Robati. It comes from a great line of athletes. She's the niece of Steven Adams. You know, big Steven Adams?
Somebody that's kind of like a good basketball player, I think.
And New Zealand shot put great Dame Valerie Adams. So a lot of people don't know that. I mentioned it, I think, last year. Kirabayashi with a wild shot attempt. Things are starting to come unraveled a bit for China. For Japan, excuse me. As they trail by 3 and things get worse. They pick up a foul, pushing the back. That is number 6 on Japan. 2:06 left in the game. And New Zealand, who were down by 3, are now up by 3. They're going on a 6-0 run. It was 10-7 Japan. Golrick trying to split the defense.
Good idea. A bit unlucky on the execution. I'll tell you one thing, next game promises to have another pace than this one between the Philippines and Chinese Taipei.
That's a fact. Oh, Kaneda got out of there.
Ooh, the cross for Rookie.
Oh, no. See what had happened was.
And then, yeah.
Wow.
Ooh, the hesitation for Rookie with a great look for Kobayashi.
Way to set the table. Way to set the table. 13-12. This game is setting up to be another thriller here at the quarterfinal stage in Singapore. Minute 15 and counting. Kaneda to Faruqi. Faruqi on the run. Wild shot attempt. This is where that size of the Tall Ferns really gives him an advantage. Fotu with a friendly bounce. 15-12. Faruqi, nice response.
Ferocious drive.
Golrick swings it. Ella. .33 seconds left. 0-2. Call for the foul. That's clearly a fatigue foul.
Yes.
Both teams are absolutely drained in a 15-13 game. But look at Sharn, Uke Robati. Sometimes it don't have to be pretty. It just has to go in. She got the ball to trickle in there off the front rim, then off the glass and touches the rim and finally goes down. We see Faruqi respond with the nice drive.
Kyle.
And here are your leading scorers in the game so far. Chiba with 4 and Fotu with 5, along with Sharn's 5. Top the scoring charts for each team.
Kyle, fatigue or not, do not commit that foul because you have an opportunity to see your teammate help on a potential layup, and you can help the helper. Just, you're lucky that Faruqi, that is a good free throw shooter, misses that first one.
Faruqi will trim the lead down to 1.
Could have been a tight game. New Zealand not paying the price for that foul call.
And McGoldrick, that is broken up and stolen away. 21 seconds left. Kurabayashi and Faruqi sharing. Faruqi driving. Decides to pull up mid-range. Probably could have drove. Instead, the tall Fern snagged the rebound. McGoldrick will clear it.
They need to foul. They need to foul.
Only 1 second separate the game clock and shot clock. They don't foul. Sharn Rabati can't knock it down, but New Zealand will hold on. They survive a tight quarterfinal with Japan, 15-14. They get it done. Storming from behind, they trailed for the majority of the game, but they end up advancing by any means necessary. Credit to Japan. They gave it their best shot this year. But it is the Tall Ferns that will be moving on to the semifinals. So we've reached the bottom half of the quarterfinal bracket. One more women's quarterfinal to go with the Philippines and Chinese Taipei. But a critical win in the elimination stage of this tournament as Angelo stands by with Sharn after that huge win for the Tall Ferns. Czar, it's on you.
All right, now, not the prettiest of game, but I tell you what, a win is a win. How do you feel getting away from a very scrappy Japanese team?
I'm feeling very tired, but big ups to the Japan team. They were really great. They gave us a good run. They kept us on our feet, and yeah, give it up to them, but I'm proud of my team.
So what was the key for you guys to bounce back after getting in trouble against Australia? You need to prepare for the quarterfinals. I know you have ambition for a medal. Tell us a little bit how you guys prepare and what's the thought process?
I think just following our own game plan and just knowing that we don't have to play to other people's speed. So using our physicality, using the outside guards and putting up some two-pointers. So yeah, we definitely worked on that and yeah.
Well, you're in the semis. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, they didn't exactly dictate the pace in that contest, but they seized momentum at the right time. The Tall Ferns stand up New Zealand. Big win over Japan. They have sealed a spot in the semifinals. Philippines and Chinese Taipei will solidify our semifinal teams in the women's competition and be the last game that we play here in the early session. Actually, 3 sessions today. The early session, the middle session, and the final session. So one more game to go here in the early session. Philippines, Chinese Taipei coming your way in mere moments. Stick around. I told you it wouldn't take long. Chinese Taipei and the Philippines in our last quarterfinal in the women's competition. Chinese Taipei 1-1. The Philippines 5-0, including the qualifying draw. The Gilas haven't lost anything out here. Not even their cell phones. Out they come with JJ, Jazzy, Jasmine Joseph, Camille Claren, Kaye Pingo, and Mika Cacho, your undefeated Gilas, who played more 3x3 here in Singapore this year than any team playing on the final day. How much gas do they have left in the tank? They went 2-0 in group play in the main draw, beating Mongolia and then beating Malaysia, both by 7 points or more. And that is how they arrive here into this last quarterfinal. As for Chinese Taipei, a 1-1 team. They lost to China in overtime, 9-11. Bounced back with an 18-8 victory over Singapore to land here in the quarterfinals. They come out with Hui Su Chang, Hong Ting Kuo, Shihan Su, and Yu Jie Chen.
That was impressive.
Well, I told you about day 5, we'd be okay. Oh, that was so nice. What is with the cocking your head to the side?
It's something that I wouldn't know nothing about.
All right.
Trying to process it, and I'm thinking,
well, you wouldn't know something about
I
both
tell you
these
what,
teams.
If you like Dragon Ball Z,
I used to watch it when I was much younger. I couldn't tell you about anybody in Dragon Ball Z now.
So you know when they fuse?
Oh yes. Oh, that's what that's about. The fuse. That's. I thought it was the peace signs though.
It was, but it's like
signs?
the two girls on the right go towards the 2 girls on the left, so they can go and combine and they get to the middle.
All right, that's Camille Claren that you're taking a look at right now. She's averaging 2 points per game. She's got 4 total. She was a bigger contributor in the qualification games offensively, but in the 2 main draw pool play games, not so explosive offensively. That's okay. She hasn't had to be because Jasmine Joseph comes into this contest 17 points. 17 points, number 2 on the scoring charts.
They're all essential, Kyle, all of them. They've had such a big impact. Cacho has been absolutely instrumental to their good playing. And Pingo, to me, is like the X factor on that squad with her defensive energy and how aggressive she's been in the lane offensively. All right.
We got a 10-minute sprint in front of us, the last of the early session that will solidify the women's semifinalists. The voice and the czar here with you from OCBC Square. We're going to get things squared away by the end of business today. We got some precious metals we're going to hand out. You can say we're on a gold rush.
Told you about Cacho. Cacho limping a little bit, having trouble with that knee.
Yeah, not moving 100%, as you can see.
But she wants to be here. She wants to help.
She gets over to set the screen, which she does so well. Claren, clear lane. Two-1, Gilas. Down low, wild shot, Claren. Over to Pingo. Kaye Pepper with the spicy pass.
I like what you did there.
Well, Kaye Pingo, so I figured Cayenne Pepper. You got it. 3-2. Claren, ISO game. Swinging through, nowhere to go. Pingo. Oh man. Shifty.
Fortunate to miss it. Great fast break right here for Team Chinese Taipei. Kuo with the recognition. Chen with the position.
Such a tall task for the Philippines to number one, play the amount of games they played, but to win them all. Their 5-0 record is so impressive. If they're able to extend this tournament to the semifinals, it'd be hard to count them out.
Don't really like the side of what I'm seeing on the bench. You're seeing right now, Cacho is holding her knee. She's worried about her condition. She wasn't limping as much as she is today. I think the usage is a bit too much right now, and she's being very courageous. But obviously, the wear and tear as the competition keeps going, and the accumulation of jumps and cuts just takes a toll on your body.
Yeah, hoping that she's going to be okay. That shot is no way even close. 3-3. Cacho still on the sidelines. I believe she injured that knee. Was it main draw, or did she actually tweak that in the qualifying draw?
Qualifying.
Yeah, so.
So she already had that after the first game. Now, she's on the court. She scored the first bucket for the Philippines. She can help. It's all about potentially managing minutes in a smart way and trying to keep her energy for short spurts.
Official Vanessa Devlin and Guy Kim doing the honors in this last quarterfinal. Ching up to Chang.
Great hands by Yosin.
They got to get some better spacing now. It's Claren tries to clear some. Claren, long hair don't care. 4-3. Chin down to the body shot. You gonna get these dents. 4-4.
One thing that I noticed in the last minute or so for the Philippines, they're a bit more stagnant than they used to be, is that the fatigue that is kicking in. If they're not running around, they're not collaborating as much, and also Cacho being so essential to their chemistry offensively.
And Pingo's able to get in and get the score, but yeah, you're right. You tend to move less when you're fatigued, and when you don't have a substitute that's going to play a lot of minutes, it really puts the Gilas to the test.
See a lot of one-on-one right now, and not sure they have the energy to sustain it 10 minutes.
7:25 and counting. Deadlock, 5. Oh, what a finish. Falling away from the bucket. So
you see a lot of ISO.
Oh, Claren with the moves. That was Hung Ting Kuo, by the way, with that last bucket for Chinese Taipei. Cacho's going to come in, still moving gingerly on that right knee, but will give one of her teammates a spell. I think Claren will have a seat. And Cacho's in. Pinkel's looking pretty gassed, too.
Like what I'm seeing from Chinese Taipei, they're pressing in the paint, and the drive and kick pretty efficiently.
JJ will miss it that time. Now Cacho trying to hold her own defensively. That is such a tough ask for somebody who's playing on almost one leg. It's really a heroic effort, but you have to think about how much are you helping versus hurting the team by being on the floor. She's going to quickly check out because she can't move at 100%. So she's just going to be coming in to spell players when she can for a short amount of time. Hate to see it because she's played such a great tournament, been such a warrior for this Philippines team.
And we've been singing her praises, rightfully so. Even though Cacho is not 100% right now, the Philippines still have weapons to respond, but the game plan right now from Chinese Taipei is just much more efficient. They go where they have the size advantage, either with Chen or Kuo, and then they make them pay.
You see with the Philippines, the passes, as opposed to main draw group play, they're just slightly ill-timed, just slightly out of reach, as they were much more precise and crisp before. And those plays end up either, they can cost you a game. Every possession in a sprint to 21, as you know, is critical. Every possession.
Right. And most importantly, you mentioned the little off timing. They're used to play at a much faster pace, and that's definitely impacting the groove that they have in this game.
Claren battling her way to the rim. She won't get anything there.
Look at this, ball moving.
Excellent ball movement. Got a mismatch down low.
Pengel kind of pulled the chair on her. She got away. And Chang was expecting to feel some kind of pushback, some kind of contact. And Pengel removed herself, which almost made Chang travel.
We call that pulling the chair.
I did mention it.
Huh?
I did mention it.
Oh, sorry. Chen. Can't put it in. Chang gives it up, gets it back. 2-ball, corner pocket. No. JJ kicks it out. Now Jazzy setting up shop from the right wing. Here's Cacho. Cacho just cannot move as she normally would move. And shot blocked. And again, New Zealand waiting on the winner of this contest. After their 1-point victory over Japan, they don't get the shot up in time. We are over 4 minutes into this contest and still anybody's game, 7-5. But the Gilas need a spark. I think Pengel has that ability to, start taking over this game, as we saw yesterday. That foul's on the floor. Just the second foul on the Philippines. Sue gets it over to Chen. Chen hardly off target. She will get it back. Closer range shot. That's a miss as well. Cacho has it. Cacho. Hezi can hardly spin on that leg. Has to put up a wild shot late. She'll check out. Gave a spell to Josen. Now Josen's back in. I don't know if I've seen Pengel get a rest yet.
You're right. I'm not sure either.
2-point game, it stays. Loose ball. Whoa, no.
Can they find their second win?
Screen set. Claren with 3 to shoot. Got to do something. Misses it. Can't track down the rebound. That's ruled out of bounds off of the Gilas. So both teams have hit a little bit of a scoring drought. 1 or 2 plays can shift this game either way. That foul is called on Pengel. That's the 3rd on the Philippines. Oh, shoot. She is fast.
She has the speed that the Philippines no longer have.
Chang drops it baseline. Too long.
What a save.
Excellent play. Excellent play. Shihan Hugh.
Kyle, when we talked about relying on athleticism and the ones that can last are the ones that are skilled and can adjust to losing athleticism.
Yep.
Well, Philippines rely on speed and quickness. We agree on that.
Yeah.
And the main problem is the moment you lose that speed, you lose that aggressiveness, how do you adjust? And playing one-on-one makes it too hard on them because they don't have the length and strength of Chinese Taipei. They're clearly gassed, and obviously we got to put that also on Cacho's injury and the qualifying draw taking a toll on them.
So while that doesn't affect the individual player's speed, it affects the speed in which they play with.
Right.
The speed in which they get into their actions when you don't have Cacho at 100%.
And everybody looks gassed. Even Pingle, that's been so spectacular with her energy. She's competing, she's fighting hard, but we talk about anytime a team is tired, they're like hoping that one teammate will take over, and that's what I'm seeing from the Philippines. They're not moving the ball around as much, and they're not collaborating as much. But I don't think because they're trying to be selfish. I think they're just gassed.
Yeah. That fatigue can neutralize your skill set.
For sure.
And compromise your strategy.
Now, I like how you put it, Kyle. It cannot neutralize your skill set. It's so on point. That's exactly what happens when you're kind of like dying out.
Cacho still contributed.
Yeah, because she's
on a leg and a half.
Right, such a great screener.
That's an easy response, though, for Chinese Taipei, who are in control of this game. And the further it wears on, the Philippines are going to need one of their stars to start shining. And we've seen each one of them have their moments. JJ, who's getting the rest right now, we saw her ability to really shoot it from long range. In fact, it was a game against Mongolia. She had 11 points, 4 of them twos. They need that version right now. Meantime, Chinese Taipei are going to continue to pour it on. A unique stat I wanted to mention from Chinese Taipei coming out of group play. Did you know they had 12 block shots?
Oh.
12 block shots.
That is huge.
They had more blocks than a Jenga tournament. All right, I should have thought about that before I said it. I apologize for that bad.
Jenga tower.
Okay, that was bad. I admit it. All right, I'll try again. But the fact is, I saw that stat and I couldn't believe it. Claren pulls up. It was up late getting some stats together. They were also 1 of 18 from 2-point range.
Chen is impressive down low. Chinese Taipei making sure they don't allow the Philippines to hope. Don't want to give them any kind of energy. And Chen just keeps on going.
Yep, the writing looks like it's on the wall now at a 7-point lead for Chinese Taipei. And the Gila's undefeated run is very likely to end here in the quarterfinals. Unless something drastic changes with Chinese Taipei's attack. Chen spins free. What a beautiful move. Up and in off the glass. 14-7. Pingo, no. Soup. And a foul called on Philippines. They are obviously fatigued. They're gassed.
They're done. They're physically done. Let's just put it that way. There is no hiding behind. You see Claren with the body language, Yosin and Pingo. They just can't. And you got to give huge credit to Chinese Taipei. The game plan was executed to perfection. They put the ball where they were supposed to. They kept on feeding Chen down low. Chen paid them back in full. Truly efficient, did it all kind of ways. And now Chinese Taipei earned itself a berth in the semifinals.
JJ, the stroke ain't stroking this time around. Minute 34 left. 7-14. Chinese Taipei just have to maintain the lead. Be smart with the possessions, defend the 2-point arc, and this game will be in the bag. Philippines will need a barrage of twos, a flurry of scoring if things are going to change in the next minute and 20 seconds.
To make shots, you need legs, Kyle, and they no longer have those.
Josin, oh, she double-crossed her. An untrustworthy move. Slick as a gato was JJ on that. 14-8.
Chang with back-to-back turnovers.
Under a minute to go now. A 3-possession lead for Chinese Taipei. Using some clock. Pinkel still fighting. And Pinkel will finally get a rest. The whole team will get a rest after this one because they won't be playing on. Shoot for two. That effectively is the dagger. Right in the belly. Cacho in for the layup. Chin right back and some more.
How impressive has she been, Kyle? How dominant has she been?
She's been impressive throughout the tournament. Great skill, great size.
She has eight points so far. Could have made it 9.
That ball is stolen away. Whoa, easy breezy. Chinese Taipei take advantage of a hobbled Philippines team. It's the nature of the game. Sometimes you get these injuries.
Yeah, but
while Cacho could still play, she was not close to 100%.
But they went to one-on-one basketball, and if you want to play that kind of basketball, you need to be as fresh as you can possibly be. And if you're not fresh, then you got to find solutions as a team. And the Philippines did not do that in this game. They ended up trying too hard to make the difference individually on one-on-one situations, and they just couldn't pull it off. On the opposite side, Chinese Taipei was patient, looking just like that. Those kind of executions where they collaborate, find the mismatch, pass it up, and finish the job. Congratulations, Chinese Taipei, for a very dominant performance. And they're going to be competitive. I'm looking forward to see that semifinal with New Zealand.
Well, Chinese Taipei, who have never medaled at the Asia Cup, will have an opportunity to get one step closer. The semifinals in the women's competition are set. The Gilas, thank you for coming, but they are going to head home after running into a tough Chinese Taipei team. Here's a look at the highlights. Enjoy those, and we'll get you set up for our break after the first session, and then tell you what to look forward to heading forward on this final day of play, Asia Cup 2024 from Singapore. Stick around. All right, we are setting up for our session break. But before we take it, we want to show you the brackets in both the men's and women's competitions. Mongolia and Australia, New Zealand and Chinese Taipei, the 4 teams that have emerged from the quarterfinals. Those are your 4 semifinalists. And the women's competitions is set in terms of the semifinals. We'll figure out how the men's competition is going to play out once we come back from break. Australia and China in the men's game will be the next one that we see, but we will return at 14:15 local time. We'll see you in a little over a half hour as Asia Cup action 2024 from Singapore continues. See you in a bit.